Hi everyone, it's Cammy today. The best YouTuber on Teledrama. Teledrama, obviously, is my favorite show. It has 7 seasons. Action, Island, World Tour, Revenge of the Island, All Stars, Pocketeo, and Redonkulous Race. Which is what we are talking about today. I will not be counting Teledrama, as that is the toddler spin-off show, and should have been replaced as Teledrama Reunion. It's a spin-off show, which is another reason why I am not including it in this list. If you disagree with my ranking, I am A-okay with that. But if you post me comments, say goodbye to the comment section. So, let's get to the video. But before we begin, please remember to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. Number 7, F- worst season, Teledrama All Stars. Well, I have an entire video on why this season sucks so hard, so I won't explain again. Link to it is in the description if you want to see more on this one. Also, like that video if you want to see me release a video on how I would change this season. Number 6, F- bad, Teledrama Pocketeo Island. Yeah, this season sucks, but there are some better things about it. The 2 main things that suck about it are the cast and the challenges. Let's start with the cast. The characters sucked. They were so one-dimensional, and the writers were clearly out of ideas. Beardo's entire character is making sound effects, and it kinda was annoying. Leonard's is a lunatic who actually believes he's a real wizard, and his voice shrieks me. Amy is a complete bitch who makes her twin sister's life hell. Pardon my language. Ronnie is a gimp whose entire character is randomly falling in love with girls he says one word to, and he even thinks they love him back. Ella is a complete copy of Snow White. Topher is an annoying goon who is always obsessing over Chris. Dave is arguably one of the worst characters in the entire franchise. Charlotte was just boring, and then she was a twist villain and was executed way too cartoony and evil. Max thinks he's a real evil genius, is so delusional and through the roof annoying. Sky is just a wannabe Olympian and super boring. Sean is super annoying with his zombie freakishness and voice, so I do like his relationship with Jasmine. There are only 3 characters I actually liked: Sammy, Sugar, and Jasmine. Sammy, I feel bad for her because she's always being abused by her sorry excuse for a human sister. I love her friendship with Jasmine and how she was starting to become a better competitor. She should come back to a season on her own. She's nice too. Sugar is hilarious. Jasmine is in my top 5 favorite Teledrama characters. The other main thing that sucks about it is the challenges are boring. A 3rd grader could have come up with a lot of them. Some examples include throwing balloons, whacking your opponent off the beam, and hiking to the top of a mountain. What made Teledrama so great is that the characters were likable, the challenges had steam, and by this season, they were obviously out of ideas. There were some better things about the season than All Stars. For example, the new island concept was great, the mechanical island concept was great, and it didn't ruin the characters we already loved, while we never loved Beardo, Leonard, Amy, or Dave. Number 5, the Teledrama Revenge of the Island. There are some great things about this season, and a few big problems, which puts it at meh. Let's start with the positives. It has an all-new cast, since we had the same cast for 3 seasons. A lot of characters were great. Dakota, Bea, Dawn, Brick, Anne-Maria, Joe, Scott, and Lightning were all great. Especially Brick and Dawn. The cameos were great, especially Heather's. I like the toxic waste gimmick, team names, challenges, and the brain versus brawn theme. Now, let's get to my problems with it. My first problem with it is Chris's insane bar. Here, he goes from flat out, just trying to mess with the contestants, to flat out trying to kill them. And he went to jail. Another one is this season, I had the dishonor of being introduced to Zoe, the worst character from the series. My biggest problem, though, is that it focused on the wrong characters. As I just said, Dakota, Bea, Dawn, Brick, and Anne Maria were all great. However, none of them made the merge. My favorites were especially great, and the most underused characters in the series were Brick and Dawn, who 100% should have made the merge. Huge bummer. What was great about these characters is that they had something to offer. The merge had some bad apples in it. That made it the worst merge in the series. It had Zoe Yuck, boring Mike, lame boring Cameron, who were the absolute main focus of this season. Zoe's not tolerable enough, and Mike and Cameron are not interesting enough to be shoved into our faces to the extent that they were. It was too much seeing the interesting characters eliminated early just to have the more boring characters and the worst character from the series make it farther. And Cameron did not deserve to make the finale. Even though him being Iron Man was absolutely legendary, he was a pure floater. The only reason he got that far was because Mike and Zoe carried him. If this season focused on Brick, Dawn, Bea, Dakota, and Maria, or even Sam possibly if they developed him enough instead of the boring trio, this season would definitely have been higher. But it does feel like why of all characters in this season did they focus on the boring trio? In fact, look at this pic, explain if you agree in the comments. This one, I know I'm going to get some hate for, but here it is. Number 4, C, good, Teledrama World Tour. Yeah, shocking, you all consider it the best season of Teledrama. You're probably thinking, what? You're an idiot. This should be number 1. But before you do your little rant in the comments, let me explain. I feel that people who consider the season the best just ignore the flaws it has. Just admit you want to go to Paris so bad and move on. There are definitely some great things about this season. And it also has some flaws. Let's start with the positive, shall we? My favorite thing about this season is the gimmick of traveling the world, which makes this season great. I also like the songs in each episode. I like the 3-team dynamic, which changes it up a little. The voting process of stamping a passport. I like that there are 2 new characters, new interactions with Lindsay and DJ, Courtney and Gwen's friendship. And Owen and Noah's friendship was boring, but a good thought. Chris's new sign-off. Owen and Lindsay's relationship arc. Heather's character development. Sierra was great. Alejandro was an amazing villain. Tyler's character improvement. How in the first episode of the 2 previous seasons, it was just like an introduction getting you to know everyone, but in the first episode this season, we got right with the action. Allie Heather. This season had hands down the best finale in the series. It was outstanding. You could not ask for a better finale. Aftermaths were better here than they were in action. It also had the best episode in the entire series, Planes, Trains, and Hot Airmobiles. Now for the negatives. It didn't do so hot at not derailing characters, in addition to developing some. The amount of derailments this season is comparable to that of All Stars. It had the horrid love triangle, one of the biggest mistakes in the show. Farrell Zeke, who took Heather's well-earned prize money, the show slapped the beep out of Heather after our arc of them becoming friends in action. DJ's god-awful animal curse, one of the worst derailments in the series, and he was incredibly painful to sit through the season. Blaney's debut was pointless, while the 3-team dynamic was good. One team was all eliminated first, so it makes you wonder, what was the point in having 3 teams? Duncan's return wasn't a good idea, because of the whole love triangle, and he won the previous season, and he was just there. Tyler should have made the merge. Cody was a pure floater, and the only reason he got there was that Thea carried him. Tyler should have made the merge instead of Duncan or Owen. Put the positives and negatives together, and we're at good ranking. But if it weren't for some of the positives, I probably wouldn't even care for this season. Number 3, B, great, Teledrama action. What's making World Tour fanatics even more mad, probably, is that action is above World Tour. And this is most likely the first time ever you have seen Action above World Tour or this high ever. Action's a mixed season for some. I like the new movie setting and movie genres for starters. The concept of two contestants choosing the teams this season was nice instead of Chris doing it. The season took its time with the pattern of reward and elimination challenges. This season is Chris where his behavior is least questionable and most entertaining. The voting process, elimination exit. A few characters experience great character development. These include Beth, Harold, Justin, and especially Lindsay. Lindsay's development was arguably the best case of character development in the entire series. Justin Island was so forgettable and only had 3 lines in the first episode. In Action, he starts talking, undergoes some development like a minor villain, and he was hilarious in Dial M for Merger. I liked Beth more here than Island, aside from the Brady plot and kissing Harold and making the finale. She was a pure floater. The only reason she got that far was because Lindsay carried her. Harold was just a dweeb in Island, though I still liked him then. He definitely shines more this season and was comedy gold. Lindsay went from being Heather's slave to actually doing it on her own and showing her smart side. She was the only one on her team who knew the horror movie was fake, knew which wires to cut and when, knew how to walk a red carpet, became Admiral Lindsay her hotness, and even outsmarted Courtney. I liked Bridget and Jeff hosting the aftermaths. I liked eliminated contestant voting for a finalist to win, Lashauna's arc of development, and Chef and DJ's alliance. This season does come with flaws, though. For starters, it doesn't have a stable villain. Neither Justin or Courtney were great villains. Justin didn't do much, and Courtney threatened her lawyers over everything. There's also Owen's return as a mole, Trent's derailment, Bridget and Jeff always making out, Beth always talking about her boyfriend, and her being in the finale. As I said, she was a floater. Another problem is that Lindsay wasn't in the finale. Action is not complete without Lindsay in the finale. Action was 1000% Lindsay's season. Look at what she did. There have been rumors that she was supposed to be in the finale, but her VA wasn't available, so they had to do Beth. If these rumors are true, I would have Lindsay's VA record all her lines across the 21 episodes from 22 to 26. Lindsay should have been in the finale instead of Beth 1000%. Duncan versus Lindsay would be the best. A close second for me would be Harold versus Lindsay. Lindsay just has to be in the finale because Action was 1000% her season. If I could only make one change to the entire franchise, it'd be to put Lindsay in Action's finale instead of Beth because Action was 1000% Lindsay's season. Number 2. A. Awesome, redonkulous race. Brand new host, new concept, traveling the world, all make for a great season. I like the brand new host because the last 3 seasons, Chris was a complete dangerous psycho. I like that they traveled the world like they did in World Tour, but to different destinations for a loft apart. And instead of the jumbo jet, I like that they have dawn boxes where they get the tickets to their next destinations and go to the airports and fly a real airplane, like a passenger airplane. I also like how the competition is different. Instead of all the contestants competing, it's divided into duos competing for the million, 18 trios instead of contestants divided into 2 teams. Additionally, it's a race divided into different challenges for each destination. There are also some great teams like the Isters, Kenny Mosley, the Police Cadets, Surfers, Goths, Ice Dancers, Best Friends, Ryan, I'm Okay with Stephanie, The Daters, Fashion Bloggers, I'm Shelter Rockers. Owen and Noah were reality TV pros from previous seasons, and I like Owen. There are only a few problems I had with it. The biggest one is that a lot of the teams here were just filler. These include the LARPers, tennis rivals, geniuses, vegans, diversity twins, and I hated mom and daughter and stepbrothers. Another two problems I had were the surfers being finalists after getting eliminated and returning, and Emma and Noah's relationship was really cringy. For the whole filler teams issue, they could have put teams like Jasmine and Sammy, Alejandra and Jose, Sugar with Leonard instead of those filler teams. What more teams would you have liked to see in the Doculus race in place of the fillers? Please let me know in the comments. Number 1. S. Best season. Teledrama Island. Yes, the season that started it all is the best season of the franchise. One reason being, well, it started it all, and for various other reasons as well. Camp Wawanakwa, the realisticness of it, Chris still being great, all the characters at their best for the most part, before getting derailed by later seasons. Heather was the best villain. The season that's the reason Gwen is in my top 10 favorite teledrama characters. The challenges, good to nice opposites. Biggest cast with most eliminations. I could go all day long about why Island is the best season. Almost all the characters are great. It introduced us to original, common stereotypes. The only flaws there are in this season are Katie and Sadie, Ezekiel, and some eliminations were unfair. Well, there you have it. My ranking of the teledrama seasons. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And provide your ranking of the 7 teledrama seasons in the comments.